Hi, welcome to the September edition of The Parish Line, a production of CGov, the Calcasieu Parish Government Channel. We cover the events, programs, and policies of the Calcasieu Parish Police Jury. On this month's program, we will hear about repairs on railroad crossings in the parish, recap the parish's response to Hurricane Isaac, and learn about a new 5-year plan being developed by the local Workforce Center. First, the Calcasieu Office of Juvenile Justice Services is celebrating the first anniversary of the opening of their multi-agency resource center. Here's Jessica Williamson with a story on how the center has changed juvenile justice operations in the parish.
It's been a year since the Parish Juvenile Justice Services consolidated its resources into one place. Nearly 1,200 families have received services through the MARC, services which are no longer fragmented across the area.
So what we did was consolidate the whole assessment process and delivery of services into one place, which is the MARC, which is the Multi-Agency Resource Center. And it has really saved us funding throughout the parish, and it made us much more efficient, and the timeliness for delivery of services has really it's really worked out well with that.
Because of the shorter response and processing times, law enforcement and other agencies can devote time to other issues. The center receives referrals from many different agencies.
It could be people who are providing programs or services, or law enforcement, for example. They use the MARC quite often, and I say law enforcement from the Lake Charles Police Department. All the municipalities use it as far as their law enforcement agencies. The Sheriff's Office. The school board is a big referral source to the MARC. Kids who are having difficulty in school and who are what we call are ungovernable in the school or truant in the school system can be referred to the MARC.
One of the key features of the MARC is its de-escalating environment.
I've actually seen it firsthand when parents are maybe walk through the door and they're actually crying and upset and don't know what to do. We de-escalate them immediately by either using conversation or by just the whole aesthetics of the MARC, and it's really worked out well for that.
The hours of operation are another positive of the center. Those that deal with the issues that the MARC facilitates every day acknowledge that problems don't only arise during normal business hours.
We really wanted to make it easier for the families to access the MARC. So we're open from 8 a.m. every day till 11 o'clock at night, Monday through Saturday. So we're pretty staffed through most of the day. If a family is having a crisis in the home, or they just need somewhere to go where they can seek assistance and maybe say, hey, where can we go for this? They can come to the MARC. That does not necessarily mean that they will be going to court. It's their choice. They can come to the MARC. We can give them, point them in the right direction where they can receive services for their issues they're having. We do an assessment there also to try to help the family. Okay, we've done an assessment with your child, and that is a evidence-based assessment which we do. It's called the GIF. And it really measures where the needs are for the family. And then we try to plug those services to meet those needs.
The MARC provides an invaluable service to the parish in a fraction of the time. Boland credits the success of the center to the cooperation of all the agencies involved.
I brag on the MARC because it's really one of its kind in the state, but it's actually being modeled across the country. The whole time and efficiency process that we've taken on, and I say this, for example, a process that used to take 45 to 52 days now takes about 2 or 3 hours. And so we've really, with the assistance of all the law enforcement area, DA's office, school board, our agency, the police jury, we've combined those resources, and we've made it a much more efficient process. And what, again, used to take 50 days now takes 2 or 3 hours.
For the Parish Line, I'm Jessica Williamson.
The center is a collaborative effort with the Calcasieu Parish Police Jury and the Calcasieu Parish Children and Youth Planning Board. Drivers in the Westlake area have been frustrated by railroad crossings in need of repair recently. Margaret Higgins updates us on a crossing affecting a parish road.
Railroad crossings seem to be the topic of conversation lately. Calcasieu Parish Engineering Director Tim Connor tells us about the recent repair that was completed in late August to the Truesdale Road crossing.
The railroad company came in on a Wednesday, and we'd had the road closed, and they pulled out the old crossing, and they've replaced that with new concrete panels. And once they completed their work on Wednesday, the contractor came in the following day and did the work on the approaches. And tie everything in, and then the road was reopened again to normal traffic.
Connor tells us why this repair was necessary.
It's a heavy industrial area and a lot of traffic, and we've received a lot of complaints about the condition of the crossing, and the jury has really pushed the railroad company to get something done, and so we're finally seeing that come about here recently with the agreement that's been passed by the police jury, in which the parish is going to pay half the cost of the crossing repairs.
Many residents may be wondering who's responsible for the crossing.
The railroad company is responsible for the crossings, not the parish, and although we are responsible for those approaches that come up to it. But the other crossing that's in need of repair, and that's the Sampson Street crossing, which is on a state route. And so it will be up to the Department of Transportation to work out an agreement between them and the railroad for their repairs.
Connor expresses his gratitude to the public.
We appreciate everybody's patience during the road closure. We certainly know that long-term benefits will outweigh the short-term inconvenience.
For the Parish Line, I'm Margaret Higgins.
The Sampson Street crossing in Westlake is set for repairs later this month. The Louisiana Workforce Commission is requiring the local Workforce Board to enact a 5-year plan for the Southwest Louisiana area. It includes the need for public input. Molly Morgan has more.
The Workforce Investment Board oversees the daily operations of the Business and Career Solutions Center as well as the Workforce Plan. WIB Director Stephanie Simeon explains.
We are one of 18. There are 18 around the state, and we happen to cover regions, we're Regional 5, and that covers Calcasieu, Cameron, Jeff Davis, Beauregard, and Allen parishes. And so we oversee the operation of the Business and Career Solutions Center, where we try to help people get employed or assist them in going to school, different types of training here locally.
Simeon explains how the local workforce plan will follow the state's.
The state plan has to be approved by the governor. It's his strategic plan for the state of Louisiana. So the Louisiana Workforce Commission has to submit a plan to the governor, and as a local entity of the 18 areas that I talked about, we also have to submit a plan. Our plan has to be consistent with the state's plan. And so what we're doing is not really changing it, because this is how we operate. We operate on a 5-year plan, and sometimes we do 2-year plans. And so we're looking at the unemployed, the employed, the underemployed, dislocated workers, adults, youth, what have you. Those are our populations that we target, and we try to connect this population with employers. It's demand driven. We look at how we can connect with the employers out there to try and help people find employment. Not just helping them find employment, but connecting them so that they can have a career and meet the demands of the employer. So it is demand driven and is driven by employers.
The public is invited to make comments concerning the plan.
We do the plan. It is due to the Workforce Commission by September 30th. Within that time frame, we have to allow a 30-day public comment period. Now, based upon the information that I've just told you, if there's a part in the plan, and as you know, it's on the parish's website, if the public has any type of comments about some of the information that we've put in the plan, they're allowed to make those comments to me, and we will go in and try to tweak that area based upon the comments that they've provided. We've used the parish's website, and this is mandated. You have to give a 30-day public comment period. We use the local media. We've put ad in the paper or notices in the American Press, in the Jennings Daily News, in the Cameron Pilot. We've sent information out to all of our Workforce Investment Board members, our Youth Council members, our Executive Committee members, so that anyone can make public comment. And that will give us some insight on what the public feels about our strategic plan.
If you would like to make a comment concerning the plan, email Stephanie at ssimeon@lwia51.com. For the Parish Line, I'm Molly Morgan.
The public can view the plan at cppj.net and will be able to make comments until September 27th. You are watching the Parish Line, a production of CGov. With Hurricane Isaac in our rearview mirror, CGov's J.P. Booth spoke with OHSEP Director Dick Gremion on the storm's impact in southwest Louisiana and how we responded to it.
Wind and rain is all southwest Louisiana really received from Hurricane Isaac, but OHSEP Director Dick Gremion tells us why it's always good to be prepared for the worst.
Well, on a tropical system, we're never really confident until it comes ashore, and with Isaac, the odd thing about Isaac, even after it came ashore, there was some indication that it could be heading further west. So we have to keep an eye on these things until they dissipate. Generally, once it gets inland a few miles, we're in pretty good shape. But in this case, probably by Thursday afternoon, we were pretty sure that nothing was going to happen here except for the weather that we did end up getting from it, and we did get rather high winds and some rain. In the eastern part of Calcasieu Parish, maybe over into Jeff Davis and Allen Parish, they had some sustained winds of 40 to 50 miles an hour with gusts up to about 60. In most of Calcasieu Parish, we had sustained winds of 30 to 40 miles an hour with gusts up to 60 miles an hour. I think we had a high gust here at this building of 62 miles an hour. And of course, the reason that school was closed is, number one, a high-profile vehicle like a school bus can't operate in those kind of wind conditions. And number two, those kind of wind conditions causes sporadic power outages, and we couldn't assure that there would be power for all schools the next day. So if anyone was wondering, those were two of the major factors that went into that decision.
Gremion also explains that every storm, whether it's large or small, presents opportunities to improve on our emergency practices.
A couple unusual things happen. Of course, some of the lead up to this storm was over a weekend, and it's harder to get people's attention over the weekend. Monday morning, it became pretty obvious this was going to impact somewhere on the northern Gulf Coast, so we went ahead and put our response plan into play and had several meetings. Nothing unusual about it. It really serves as a reminder, though, that we need to change our thinking maybe from what the weather of the hurricane is, because a tropical storm is only 39 miles an hour up to 75 miles an hour, and then Category 1, 2, 3. This storm, because of the size of it, kind of changed those parameters a little bit. It reminds you all these things are different, but we still follow our same planning guidelines, whether it's just a tropical storm or up to a Category 5. And if we feel if we plan for a worst-case scenario, we won't be surprised if the worst happens. Part of our planning is we have the planning stage, we have the response phase, and then we have recovery. Well, we were able to go into recovery mode a lot sooner than southeast Louisiana because obviously the storm didn't come here, so we were already planning to see if the southeast Louisiana had any needs from our area, and it turns out that they did.
What kind of needs did they need, and what did we send them?
The immediate need was for an animal rescue team, which we have trained personnel in our animal services department to fill that role, and we sent two people over there for about 4 days that helped rescue pets and other animals in the St. John Parish area.
For the Parish Line, I'm J.P. Booth.
The Calcasieu office was on standby to assist several additional parishes, such as Tangipahoa and Orleans, if they requested it. While Isaac had only a minor impact locally, parish officials are reminding Calcasieu residents that we are still in the peak of hurricane season, and that our Calcashout service is the primary way to receive official information.
The public perception on CalcaShout has been great. It's been phenomenal over the past several years. It's been activated since 2008. We've used it sporadically through the last several years for different emergencies, not just hurricanes. A lot of people think it's just for hurricanes. But we use it for all kinds of emergency alerts that might not be affecting the big parish as an entire parish, but maybe a certain area. The Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness manages the system and really decides when it is needed to be utilized and when it's not enough of a threat to utilize the system. Since we started in 2008, we have about 37,000 residents signed up on the system, and it's a very convenient way of having all of the important information come to you. Instead of you having to search for it, the resident having to search for any kind of critical information that they need to know, depending on whatever service or situation, emergency you might be in, the actual CalcaShout system sends the message to you via text, email, and in some cases via phone.
Signing up for CalcaShout is quick and easy.
CalcaShout is a free service to the public. Anybody who would like to sign up can sign up online at www.calcashout.com. If you have trouble accessing the internet or you need some assistance, you can always call the Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness, and they would assist you in filling out a form. But it's very simple, very easy. You just enter in your name, your address, any phone numbers, an email address, you press submit and you're in. And it's there forever until you need to alter any kind of information, like if you move or something, you might need to go back in and change it. But CalcaShout is always storing your information. We never sell the information to anybody else or give it to anybody else, so it's protected, but it's crucial to have.
Human nature suggests people will procrastinate when it comes to signing up for CalcaShout. The police jury is encouraging people to sign up now before a storm is imminent.
A CalcaShout is one of those things in life where you basically don't think about it unless you're in an emergency situation, sort of out of sight, out of mind. We hope that people will, at the beginning of a hurricane season are thinking about, anything that might be coming up. It's always good to have a game plan for you and your family. And we hope that the family members and residents will consider CalcaShout and whatever they're determining and sign up whenever they can. I mean, it's always available. But we found that most people are apt to signing up during an emergency situation. When Isaac was a threat to Calcasieu Parish, there was a 3-day window when we really didn't know if it was going to affect this particular part of the area or where it ended up landing, which was the eastern side of Louisiana. That Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we had about 1,700 people sign up for CalcaShout because we continually told people in all of our press release, all of our notifications that CalcaShout is there. Please sign up for any important information that we may send out. After the threat was over, the subscription went way down as far as new signups go. That's just the way that people think. We just would encourage people to sometimes think about, CalcaShout in the non-emergency events and hopefully get as many people to sign up for this free service.
That's the Parish Line for this month. Thanks for watching. For more information on any of these stories or to see the program online, visit our website at cppj.net.